If I want to make changes to all of them at once, I don't have to adjust them one at a time. I just say, use the same values in the y-axis, and then it's able to identify the lowest and the highest value for all the charts and apply them to all of them.
Thanks for joining us today. My name's Tom Walker. I run the modern work business for the manufacturing organizational unit for Microsoft. That big long title really means that my team covers the top 400 manufacturers in the US. We work to ensure they get value out of Microsoft's M365 platform and our AI solutions that drive productivity. With me today is Jason Belingit, a Microsoft Modern Work specialist for my team. Before joining my team, Jason spent years in different finance roles in a variety of industries. He's been showing our customers some really exciting capabilities in Copilot and Copilot in Excel. We believe these capabilities are going to help customers turn insights into actions and drive way more impact in their daily jobs. Jason, is this what you're seeing?
Yeah, Tom, that's exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of customers leverage Copilot in Excel to automate things, help them with insight. But the thing that caught me by surprise as I've gone to all our customers is that at first I would meet up with finance people who are used to using Excel a lot, but I'm learning and realizing that there's something in Copilot and Excel for everyone. Would you like me to share a couple examples in terms of what features can resonate for anyone?
Yeah, let's dig right into that.
All right. So in this example, I like to show how Copilot can help with formatting. And so in this table, I have a list of stock prices for a bunch of different assets. And all I'm asking is for Copilot to add dollar signs to all of the price columns and show no decimal places. For those who don't use Excel that much, they might not even know how to find the icon on the ribbon to click on the dollar sign. For those who are advanced, this is a super simple task. But what I like to highlight in this example is the fact that by referencing the price columns, you don't have to actually select column B or column D or column F. All you're saying is, do this for all of the price columns, and it does it immediately. Following on to this, I ask it to display the volume columns in thousands. And I also want to show it with a K at the end. This is very useful when we're dealing with a lot of large numbers and you just want to simplify the look of it. But even for those of us who are advanced in Excel, sometimes we forget how to do a custom number format. We don't know where the commas go or where the periods go. Ultimately, we just want it to take the last 3 digits, hide them, and display a K at the end of it. And with Copilot, you can do that with a simple ask. And the best part is, you can do this whether you're someone who uses Excel once a year or you use it every day.
That's awesome, Jason. So you're telling me there's something in it for everyone. One thing that I really struggle with is formulas, and I can't even do a VLOOKUP. Can it help me?
Oh, it sure can. And Tom, just so you feel better about yourself, the fact that you know what a VLOOKUP is shows that you know more than the majority of people when it comes to Excel. But Copilot can help with that. And the best part is you don't have to know terms like VLOOKUP, or if you're maybe younger, XLOOKUP. All you need to know is what you want to do with the spreadsheet. So in that example, you could just say, can you add this column and look it up from this other table? So you can absolutely do that. But the other things that Copilot does really well is help you with troubleshooting formulas that that you may not understand. It helps you create formulas. And so I just wanted to show one example. And as I mentioned earlier, it's good for everyone. Anyone can use this. And so one question I get a lot, and I get asked it in very different ways. Some people will, similar to what you just said, can it do a VLOOKUP? And so a finance person might say, can it do a sum if or an average if? A lay person might just say, can you get the sum totals by a certain column? It's ultimately the same thing. And so I want to show one example. In this case, going back to the same data that I shared earlier, I want to ask Copilot to help me find the average monthly price of gold. In this example, if you don't know how to do a sum if or an average if, you ask a friend. If you're advanced, this example is actually a little tougher than normal because there is no column that actually has a month or a year column. So for speed, even those who have PhDs in Excel might create something called a helper column where they add the year or the month and extract it from the date. But in this specific example, I'm asking Copilot to add the average monthly price of gold. And it's doing it all in one go. Just adds the column. And then, just to make sure, if you're in finance, you always check your work. You can check if, in this case, for the month of January, it all adds up to 2062. And it actually does. The last thing I want to highlight is that when it created the formula, it also explained the logic behind the formula. So what you can see on the side is it says, the formula calculates the average of the gold prices for the same amount as the current row. And then it goes through each part of the formula to explain what it's doing. In cases where you get a spreadsheet, for example, where someone smarter than you might have given it to you and you don't understand that formula he's put in, you can go to Copilot and ask it to explain that formula. And it won't send you to a help page so that you can understand the different parts of a VLOOKUP, but rather it will explain to you what it's actually trying to achieve.
Thanks, Jason, for sharing that. Clearly, the capabilities in Copilot for Excel will help me. Hopefully, it'll get me to master VLOOKUPs or do it for me. One of the other things you've talked a lot about is Python in Excel. And when I think about that, I think about data scientists and really advanced users. Is that something that Copilot's going to make easier for everyone as well?
Yes, it will. Python and Excel is one of those things that I am incredibly excited about. And the thing that is really cool about Python in Excel is that when I go around to our customers to show them Python in Excel, they're usually finance people. And their initial reaction is, that's not for me. I'm not a developer. And what I like to show is, I'm not really a Python developer either, but there's something in it for me. And what Python does is it opens up a new world of analysis, whether it be statistical analysis or visualization or machine learning models, that in the past, you might have needed a data scientist sitting right next to you to help you do it. But now you can do it on your own, and you can do it with the help of natural language. So following on our example, I like to show how Python can help with statistical analysis. In this specific case, all I'm asking it to do is show me the relationship between the different asset prices. And immediately, it creates a correlation map. I love to highlight when I give this example that I did not ask for a correlation map. I just asked for the relationship between the different assets. And why did I use that language? Because I don't know what a correlation map is. But a relationship, I can understand. And what I like doing after that is just when Copilot shows me a visual I don't know, I tell it I don't know. In this specific case, I say I'm a bit of a novice and I don't know what the chart is. Can you explain what the numbers represent like you would to a 10-year-old? And the best part is it explains it in that language. I love it even more if you adjust the age and maybe make it a 5-year-old. Then it will talk about the relationship between your toys, and it will say 2 of your toys might be correlated if you pick up one when you pick up another one.
Thanks, Jason. Although I'm not sure my 10-year-old is going to be super excited about correlation maps at this point, but maybe we'll test it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if most kids would really care about correlation maps. But as a kid, I was kind of the nerdy one that loved numbers. And so maybe I just sometimes assume that everyone's a bit like me. Just following up into terms of the next example, Tom, I wanted to show how Copilot can help create visuals and do it really fast. And so in this specific example, I ask it to create a box plot for each precious metal asset that shows the monthly performance for 2022. Why I love this example is that I'm again leveraging the power of the LLM to create a chart. In this case, not just one chart, but 3 charts for gold, silver, and platinum. Unlike earlier when I was referring to the price and said, add dollar signs to the price or add a K up for the volume columns, there is no sign of precious metal written in any of these columns. But the LLM is able to understand what I mean when I refer to the precious metals and create 3 charts individually for each of these precious metals. Now, not only do I have to avoid looking through each of the columns to figure out which ones I want, but it will just pick them out all at once for me. And the other part is I don't have to go into Excel and say insert chart, insert chart, insert chart 3 times and create them individually. I don't have to worry about making them look the same size after Excel creates it. It just does it all at once. And the next part is if I want to make changes to all of them at once, I can make a change like asking it to use the same values in the y-axis for all of the charts, and it will do that all by itself. I don't have to adjust them one at a time. I just say it, use the same values in the y-axis, and then it's able to identify the lowest and the highest value for all the charts and apply them to all of them.
So not only is it able to do things that are super complex and make them simpler, it's also going to make our end users much more efficient when they make changes that can span multiple graphs or charts. That's pretty awesome, Jason.
It sure is. It's something that I get excited about. And whenever I show it to customers, they really get excited about it as well.
So, Jason, we've covered a lot today. Is there any advice you might have for our audience who might be interested in what you've shown? Like, how can they start using it or testing it out?
We have gone through a lot, Tom. And if there was any advice I'd give to all of our audience is just be curious. Try something new. Try something that you've not done before. In this last example, just as we close out, I'd like to show you an example where I was curious. When I did this, I was in a tutoring center for my 2 kids, just waiting for them in the lobby. And I thought, well, if I'm forcing my kids to learn something new, I may as well try to do the same thing. And so I had my laptop and I just went to Copilot chat and asked it, what do data scientists do in Python? What are some other types of analysis that are available to them? And they listed a bunch of different ones. And because I'm a bit of a foodie, the one that stood out for me was sentiment analysis on restaurants. And I thought, well, how can I do that? And so I just asked Copilot, can you help me create a sample data set of restaurant reviews that I can run in Excel and see if I can analyze it myself? And so it created this data set. It had 5 restaurants, 2,000 reviews. In each review, it had a score out of 5, and then it had a written review. What I then did was I loaded into Python using advanced analysis. And to my surprise, I didn't even have to do anything. When I opened up advanced analysis, and you can see it in this demo, all it did was open it in advanced analysis, and it immediately recognized that this was restaurant reviews. And it created a bunch of different visuals automatically, things that might be helpful. It's able to show the distribution of the scores. It's showing the ratings over time. It's performing a sentiment score that doesn't take into effect just the star rating, but it's actually looking at the written text and analyzing it for the presence of positive, negative, or neutral words. And at the very end, the only thing that I did was ask it to create a word cloud for each of the restaurants. Word clouds aren't something that are normally done in Excel, but it's something that you can now do through Copilot and Python in Excel. And all I would just say is think about the ways you can use it. It's not only useful for restaurant reviews. But if you're in HR, for example, and you put out a survey for feedback and your employees are giving feedback on whatever process it might be, you can now use Copilot in Python and Excel to understand the responses from your employees, and you can create word clouds to visualize it.
So, Jason, you're telling me it's going to help me simplify mundane Excel tasks. It's going to help me create formulas and VLOOKUPs that I couldn't do on my own. It's going to help me do advanced analytics via Python. And it's also going to make sure that I don't mess up and go to the wrong restaurant. It truly does sound like it's for everyone.
It truly is for everyone, Tom. Whether you're in Excel every day or you open it up once a quarter, there is something that Copilot and Excel can do for you to make your life just that much easier.